The fire is behaving now is what we would like for it to continue to do.
Still smoldering 21 and a half hours later, a massive fire at a fertilizer plant has Winston-Salem residents still on alert. Firefighters offering some good news this afternoon as they still continue to battle those flames. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Talitha Vickers.
I'm Kimberly Van Scoyen. We're learning new information at this hour about how the Weaver fertilizer plant caught on fire. Firefighters say the first call about this came in at 6:30 last night. There were no injuries to any employees, firefighters, or citizens that have been reported. Now, as this fire continues to burn, there is concern that it could cause a massive explosion, and that's because the facility houses ammonium nitrate, which is a chemical used in the production of fertilizer.
We've also learned that North Hills Elementary School will continue with remote learning tomorrow. That school is near where this fire is burning. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools is also opening its education building to help students and families with remote learning and childcare while the school is closed. New at 4, we are hearing from the Weaver company that owns the fertilizer plant. In a statement, a spokesperson says, quote, "We are grateful for the outstanding rapid work last night and ongoing support from fire officials as well as the volunteer services who have supported our employees and plant neighbors." We have live team coverage of this breaking story. We begin with Leanne Daniels. She's on Indiana Avenue, which is just southeast of the fire, where city officials just provided an update. Leanne?
Yeah, Talitha, following that update, I actually went back over to Fire Chief Trey Mayo because he said something that just stopped me in my tracks. He said when he learned of the amount of ammonium nitrate in this fertilizer plant, he said it was the most uneasy he has ever felt in his fire service career. That is a more than 30-year career. He says that he knew that this was serious and they had to get right to that fire. There was some good news. He says that the fire is smaller and that it's doing what they wanted to do, but really the issue is the unpredictability of that ammonium nitrate. I asked him, I said, just how much warning might you have if there could be an explosion? He said, it's hard to tell. They just don't know what it's going to do. And so that's why this 36-hour window that we've been hearing so much about is so important. So we're about a mile away from the facility. We are out of that evacuation area, and that's where fire crews are staying too. Mayo confirmed. He says that the fire crews, these strike teams, are standing by. They are helping to monitor the situation, but there are not firefighters in the facility fighting this fire at this point. It's just not safe due to the unpredictability of that ammonium nitrate. Since yesterday, we've heard time and time again that 2013 explosion in West Texas. We've heard that referenced several times. There is so much more of that chemical at our facility right here in Winston-Salem than they had in Texas during that explosion. And Chief Mayo said if that doesn't give you some sort of understanding as to the gravity of the situation, then he doesn't know what was. Take a listen. We'll hear from him now.
I would say this is a serious situation. A precedent has been established with the 2013 explosion at the fertilizer plant in West Texas. That explosion killed 15 people and leveled about 150 buildings, and we have at least 3 times as much product on hand here as they had in West Texas. So I don't know how much more compelling I can be to try to make people understand the seriousness of this situation.
So you heard it there from the chief himself, and we asked him about some of the rationale behind having a mandatory evacuation for this 1-mile radius and asking folks to leave. He says they don't have the manpower to mandate it, and so they are just really trying to stress over and over again at just how unpredictable this chemical can be and just the gravity of the situation at this point. This news conference just wrapped up less than 5 minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago at this point, so we have lots of notes to go through, but we're going to send it on back to you for now.
All right, thank you so much, Leanne. Now, people who live or work within 1 mile of the fire are being urged to leave as this fire burns. Ford Hatchett is outside of the evacuation shelter at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. And Ford, what's the scene like right now over there?
Yeah, hey Talitha, we spoke with Mayor Joins earlier today. He's still encouraging anyone living within that 1 mile radius to evacuate. The Red Cross took over this shelter here earlier today. We were on scene when crews arrived and started delivering beds and blankets. We've seen a few people trickle in here this afternoon, but there's still certainly space available as more and more folks we expect to come here as the night develops on. Crews began setting up those beds and blankets, and we've already seen some food brought in for lunch already. We've seen some local companies bring in food that will be available for anyone that needs to stay here. The Red Cross tells us they have medical professionals on site to provide aid, and this shelter is going to be available until the all clear is given for everyone in the area to return to their homes. Several people have gotten hotels in the area and are setting up there instead. Wake Forest University canceled class for the day and has urged all of their students within that 1 mile radius to evacuate. And we spoke with a couple of Wake seniors earlier today. The group found out that they were inside that mile radius last night and quickly evacuated to a hotel. They say they expect to be there again tonight and spend today bouncing around, spending some time at coffee shops, looking to pass the time.
2 or 3 hours. Yeah. We just got food, got mimosas. Like, we don't really have a lot going on, so we're just kind of hanging out. Most of our assignments got pushed back too, so like there's not a lot of work to do.
And anyone who is still looking for shelter is encouraged to contact the Red Cross or come here to the education building at the fairgrounds. And if you have pets, you can bring them here as well. The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office has a pet shelter temporarily set up, provide them food and water. But if you do have a pet, make sure you bring a rabies certificate so that the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office can give them some care as well. Talitha.
So Ford, what's the scene like where you are right now? Are you seeing a lot of people coming in, and do you know how many people the shelter can house?
You know, right now, Talitha, we haven't seen that many people come in. We've seen a few people here and there trickling in this afternoon. And as far as that number, there's not a definitive number. We spoke with the Red Cross Executive Director, John Hughes, a little bit earlier. He said because they have to space these beds out to be in line with COVID protocol, it's difficult to estimate just how many people this facility will be able to house. But we do know right now there is still a lot of space available, and anyone looking for shelter should come here. Talitha.
We do want to give you another look at that evacuation map. It is the red shaded portion of the map that you see here. It is bordering University Parkway, Highway 52, and Reynolds Boulevard. And as we just mentioned, there is a shelter set up at the education building at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. If you live in this area, you are urged to evacuate right away.
We have talked throughout the day about the air quality from this blaze and how health experts are warning people to please be careful. Our Louis Tran has that part of the story right now from University Parkway. Louis?
Hey Talitha, if you look right behind me, you can still see this large plume of smoke that was caused by this massive fire at a fertilizer plant here in Winston-Salem. I've been here for the past few hours, and I have noticed that this wind is pushing it in all directions, from south to north. And to give you more context, I'm about 2.5 miles away from this fire site, and I can taste and smell the smoke when I speak right now. Health experts are saying that this smoke is impacting the air quality, and they want you to be safe. So, what's considered good air quality? A Winston-Salem doctor says air quality is measured from 0 to 500. Good is considered 50 or less. Moderate, 50 to 100, and a dangerous level is more than 300. She says the particles released from the ammonium nitrate from the fire creates a risk. According to Winston-Salem Fire Chief Trey Mayo, a dangerous level of nitrous oxide is measured at 100 parts per million. This morning, he said the current level is 65 parts per million. Health experts tell me that kids and the elderly are at risk, especially people with underlying lung conditions. They say if you live within a 1 mile radius of the fire, evacuate. If you live outside of it and in the Winston-Salem area, stay inside if you can.
Rather, somebody living in the neighborhood would have more signs of some shortness of breath, some wheezing, some chest tightness, generally in the setting of underlying asthma, underlying COPD, or potentially at the extremes of age, very, very young or very, very old.
It's also important to note that the fire chief says that the Environmental Protection Agency is also on site. If you have to go outside today, health experts say mask up. An N95 mask is the best, they say, but a surgical one can help as well. In Winston-Salem, I'm Louis Tran, WXII 12 News.
All right, thank you, Louis. Here's a bit more about the substance that is burning at the fertilizer plant, ammonium nitrate. It is an odorless, colorless, white to gray, sand-like flake, bead, or granule. It's used to make explosives, matches, fertilizers, and antibiotics. Contact with it can irritate and burn the skin and eyes, and inhaling it can irritate the nose, throat, and lungs. High levels may cause a disorder affecting blood cells with symptoms like headache, fatigue, and a blue color to the skin and lips.
And so, of course, the weather having a big impact on all of this, especially when it comes to the winds spreading the smoke around Winston-Salem and other areas. We just saw Louis Tran talking a little bit about that. Meteorologist Dave Aiken is tracking that part of the story. Dave, what are you seeing right now?
Well, the winds haven't been real significant today. They've been pretty calm. That's why when you see that plume, it's been going really from the ground straight up. But it's starting to push a little bit more off to the west a little bit more as the winds have come up out of the east and the northeast across the area. And you can see here the conditions over Winston-Salem right now, mostly sunny, except of course where there's some smoke, and the winds are out of the east at about 3, so that pushes that smoke plume off to the west a little bit more, and that's why we see a little bit more movement in it. Other than that, calm across the region, so the winds aren't really high out there, which is probably good for fighting fires. As we go on into later on this evening, the winds pretty much stay constant, anywhere from 3 to 5 miles per hour tomorrow morning too, and then we'll have to watch the winds. They turn up out of the south tomorrow, so you'll see that change where you might see that plume of smoke to start push on off to some of these northern counties north of Forsyth County as we go on in through the day tomorrow afternoon. Visible satellite imagery, we've seen just a few clouds out there, but you can actually see the smoke from this from the visible satellite imagery, which is only available to us during the daytime hours. Here's Smith Reynolds Airport, and here's where the fire is over northern parts of Winston-Salem. You can see the smoke plume that kind of comes into play from time to time here as we go on in through the rest of the evening. If you're looking for any rain, it's going to be at least 24 hours, maybe closer to 36 hours before we get some showers to come on in back out of the west. We'll watch for that. Unhealthy air for some people. Air quality code is for yellow, so if you've got respiratory problems, you need to probably stay inside until we hear further conditions get any better as we go through time. We'll have the rest of your forecast in just a little while.
All right, thank you so much, Dave, and we're going to stay on top of this fire and also monitor any developments. Stick with us both on air and online.
I'm really concerned about the lack of communication in Spanish around the area.
Getting the word out about the massive fire, the communication concerns that emergency officials are having to navigate through as the fertilizer plant fire still burns.